What's going on, guys? An install video here on how to install your switchback LEDs into your towing mirrors. Once I send them to you, this is for the customers that buy the switchbacks from me and might need a walkthrough on how to install them once they get them in their hands. And like I was saying before, we do clear headlights here. I've just done this set, installed them. They got switchbacks in them too, as you can see. Nice and clean. Now it's time to do the towing mirror to get this orange amber lens out. These are the ones that I build right here. They're super bright with a clear lens, and then you put the profile performance, the drivers that go with these to make them work. And to get this process, first you gotta take the glass out, and there's 5 bolts to hold this black piece in. And then once you get that black piece out, then you kind of pull this to the side, slide this out, and then you get to put this one in and have the wiring process. And that's where I'm going to kind of show you what to do on the wiring process. Are the things that you will need is some butt connectors to connect the wires together for the amber to turn on, and both ground and power. That's 2 things. Actually, you're gonna need 3 in each headlight, so 6 altogether. They do send, well, whenever I ship them, I don't send which they send, which I can open up a box right quick and I can show you. They send these little connectors right here. I don't use those. They don't really work very well. In fact, they didn't even send the blue piece that comes with it to connect the actual wires together. Little easy quick connects. Those can fall out over time going over bumps and stuff, so I just butt connect them, and then I use the heat wrap, so that way it connects the wires really good and they aren't going to come back out. So that's what we're going to start on now. Alright guys, for this install you're going to need some crimpers and wire strippers, a T15 if you have the factory towing mirrors. If you have like the boosted bar ones, they're going to be a Phillips head, but for the factory that's a T15 to get the bolts out. You're going to need 3 butt connectors on each side, and if you got heat shrink, a lighter. First what I do is I take the tow mirror and bend it out so that way I can get to it, push down on the mirror as far down as it goes, take both hands, wrap up top, go down as far as you can before you start pulling, and then you just pull, get down a little bit more, pull, and it'll come right out just like that. You're gonna have 3 wires up here. You're gonna have the heat and the turn signal. You just disconnect those. And then put these safe somewhere where they won't fall or get damaged. The second one, you do the same thing. Push it all the way down. Put your hands on top and pull out. Once you get that, do the same thing and move them out of the way in a safe area. And once you get here, there's going to be a bolt, 2 bolts on the bottom, 1 in the middle, and 2 on top. Okay, once you get those out, you can pull this out. There's going to be a wire that connects the rear reverse lights. You just pull those out, set that to the side, and then once you get here, you're going to want to extend the tow mirror out, and then there's going to be 2 more screws that connect the actual light piece in, and they're going to be one here and one on top. And you're also going to want to disconnect it from right here before pulling it out. Once you get that, you can push the plastics back, get this piece out. Once you get this piece out, the ones that I seen you, you can either keep these for, you know, safe keepings, or throw them away. It doesn't really matter. But this, because you're going with the new one, and then once you go with the new one, I normally feed the wires in through the hole where the connector goes through, and then I feed this in just how we took it out. Pull this back a little bit. And once you get here, you can go ahead and put the 2 screws that hold it in back to connect them to hold it into place. Once you get to this point, this is the connector that connects to the old light. You're going to want to cut this off for this install. So I strip the tape back so that way I can get to the wires. I cut it as close as I can to the connector so that way we can have plenty of wires. And then also, this is for the turn signal for the glass. I also take the tape on back to about right here. So that's what I'm going to do now. And also, it would help, one thing I didn't mention for this part is you probably will need like a razor blade. Alright, so for the turn signal, the butt connector that's connected to the glass one, and you take the 2 oranges, put them together, but whenever you're twisting the oranges, do not forget to put the red wire and twist them all together on one. Then you stick them in and crimp them together. Alright, so once you do that, you want to double check to make sure that everything's connected right and that they're going to work. The orange light should come on first and then the white light after. As you can see, they both work. So from this point, you can start hiding the wires, and then you can start putting everything back together. What I do is I run these big wires over the top, and I put the drivers in this area right here. Of course, you're going to need some zip ties, but I run these 2 wires, the big wires, just like the connector for the glass motor right here. You run them over, kind of zip tie them here and here, then you run it right through here and put the driver in this little cubby hole. It's very tight, but that's the best way to do it, so that way you can put everything back together. So that's what we're going to do. At this point, before you actually get everything zip tied together, if you want to go ahead and run that flame over the the connectors to get them to shrink a little bit. Once you get to this point, it's time to put the black piece. Here, let me show you what it should look like after you get done. When we run the big wires up here, I got a zip tie here, run it back down to here. I put a zip tie here to hold these together. I stuff these in this hole. I run the orange, black, and white wire all right here, put a zip tie here. Got them kind of just mashed into here and zip tied them. And then you want to run these, you want to run the 2 black cables for the heat for the mirror up past this screw hole right here, and the same thing for this right here. You want to run these up, and then don't forget to connect this to the back for the reverse light. And then once you're ready, once you've done that and everything looks good, go ahead and connect the mirror. Not the mirror, go ahead and connect the black plastic piece. Get this thing fitted in. And start running you some screws in it. Alright, so this is what it should look like once you get the black cover back on. You want to run the wires through this hole before you get to the middle bolt, and then it fits right in. This is what it should look like. The wires behind it, everything's fitted up good all the way around. And at this point, if you want to double check to make sure everything works, it's never not, it's always smart to double check just to make sure no wires got kinked or nothing like that as you're putting it all together. So at this point, it's time to put the the bottom glass in, and you just push it into place. The bottom one's really easy, and then the top, you connect the black wires back in to the heat for the defrost, and then once you got those connected, get it lined up where it needs to be and push right in the middle. Till you hear some popping. Once it's connected, double check. We're in there. Move the mirror around. We're good. At this point, you can push the mirror back into place and push your mirror in, and you're good to go. So once you get to this part, you're done with the installation. You don't have to take the mirror off or anything like that. Double check it. Everything works. The headlights work. So this is how to install the switchbacks that I provide for my customers once they hit your door and you have them in your hand. Anyways, I appreciate you for watching. If you got any questions, follow us on the business page. If you're installing these and have a question about something that I didn't go over, don't hesitate to message me. I answer all questions. No problem with that. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I appreciate you for watching. Everybody have a blessed day.